Anthropic has announced the Build with Claude Life Sciences Global Virtual Hackathon, where participants can receive 1 free month of Claude Max Premium access as part of the event, along with $200 in API credits. At the same time, in this hackathon, you can also use AI, that is, Claude, and compete for a prize pool of $100,000. In this video, we'll walk through every detail of this hackathon. Friends, this is a fully virtual global hackathon running from July 7 through July 13. But remember, you can register for this only until July 5th. Then the form will be closed. Anthropic has launched this hackathon as a collaborative initiative with Gladstone Institutes, a biomedical research organization based in San Francisco. Their core challenge is straightforward. The task is to create a new build or carry out research within 1 week, from July 7 through July 13, while using either Cloud Science or Cloud Code as part of it. So, what exactly are Cloud Science and Cloud Code in the first place? Since this is the core of a hackathon, understanding these details is essential. Think of Cloud Science as one AI-powered dashboard, where you can read research papers, analyze data, and write code, with every task handled inside a single shared workspace. On the other hand, Cloud Code is an AI assistant for developers using new software and tools. It helps you build things faster. This hackathon primarily has 2 tracks that you'll be competing in. First comes the research track, then the build track. To start, let's look at the research track, which has been named Build from Bench. If you're interested in analyzing data or training models, this requires you to begin with a biological question, and then use Cloud Science to carefully work out the precise answer to it. Also, remember that if you select the research track, meaning track 1, you need to work with the datasets provided here for this task. So let's now go through exactly which datasets are available one by one. Here you are provided with 3 different types of datasets that you need to use, and you can see those datasets displayed on the screen. First, this dataset is for your new drug or medicine targets. And to access this dataset, you need to click the link you can see right here. First, scroll down a little here, and you'll find all these datasets listed in this section, the same ones you can see on the screen right now. In the same way, using the second dataset provided here, your task is to train the model so it can read DNA sequences and accurately predict their activity. In the same way, to access this dataset, you just need to click the link you can see displayed here on the screen. Finally, there is your dataset 3. So with the third dataset, your task is to predict all the components that are missing in this section here. In the same way, if you want to access the third dataset here, you need to click on the link that is visible right here on screen. And yes, when you look at all these datasets, there's absolutely no need to feel overwhelmed, because Anthropic has added Claude Science here specifically to help you. So let me quickly summarize what it does for you in simple terms. In the same way, this is how the official dashboard appears for you. And this application can run on Mac, Linux, and Windows using WSL2 as well. So during this hackathon, you'll need to install Cloud Science on your system in order to access and work with this dataset. Now, let's move on to track number 2, which is your build track. If you're a developer or coder, someone who builds web apps and full-stack projects using technologies such as React, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, Python, Flask, and SQL, then this build track is made specifically for you. Here, you'll work with Cloud Code. The goal is to create practical AI tools and software for scientists, clinics, and biotech teams that make their everyday work easier. Also, we should make one thing clear here. If you choose the build track, which is track number 2, then at this point you will need to use Cloud Code. And that process takes place inside Anthropic's own cloud environment itself. Now, regarding eligibility and who can take part, this is open to everyone, so anyone can participate in it. For students, developers, researchers, or healthcare professionals, founders of startups, or freshers. Just remember that you need to be at least 18 years old here. Only then will you be eligible to participate in this hackathon. During this one-week hackathon, if you use Cloud Science or Cloud Code, where are the required subscription and API credits for it going to come from? So, Anthropic will select a total of 500 individuals from both tracks. And every chosen participant will get 1 month of Claude Max subscription access, along with $200 in API credits as a benefit. During this week-long hackathon, you'll be able to use the $200 API credits to run and support your AI models and software without having to worry about paying any extra costs. Next, let's break down exactly how the $100,000 prize pool was distributed. So from both tracks, 3 finalists will be selected in total, with the first prize being $30,000 in credits, the second prize $10,000 in credits, the third prize $5,000 in credits, and 1 additional finalist as well. It will also be chosen from the research track, and you'll receive $10,000 in credits. Now, let's see how you can register for this hackathon. To register, you'll need to visit the official website. We'll include its link in the description of this video for you. Also, let me clarify one thing here. The link shown in the description is the exact same link you need to use to complete your registration. And as we mentioned earlier, for the dataset provided in track 1, you will use that exact same link as well. Once the page has opened, you can see the register option displayed at the bottom of the screen. First click here, and once you do, the sign-in option will appear on your screen. And yes, we should also make it clear here, because you need to know this too, that this event, meaning this hackathon, is being hosted by Cerebral Valley along with Entropy. And this is where we are currently here on site. When you register, the whole process takes place directly through the Cerebral Valley website. So if you've ever taken part in any Cerebral Valley event before, you would come here and choose either Continue with Email or Continue with Google to move ahead. If you have not joined any Cerebral Valley event before, which means this is your first time creating an account here, then at this step, you should go ahead and click the Sign In option shown on the screen. So here, we click on Sign In. And immediately after clicking, the same kind of options appear again on the screen. Continue with Google and continue with email for signing into your account right here as well. First, we'll select Continue with Google to sign up here. Click that option and then wait a moment for the page to load. First, we choose the account we want to use for signing up here. And then we simply click on that option to continue with the process. At the top here, you'll see that Google is giving Cerebral Valley permission to access your information, which means your name, your profile photo if you've added one, and along with your email address, which is shared as part of this sign-in permission when you continue through the Google account approval screen. So there should not be any issue for us here because we are registering on this platform. And that means all these details are necessary, so you will have to share them anyway, all right? So here, we need to click the Continue button. Now on the screen, you can see the next step. We need to create a username, which is the name your account will use, and make sure it is unique, meaning the app will accept it only if no other user has already chosen the same username. Now we'll click the Continue button here. If someone else has already created this before you, then in that situation, my version of it will not be created. Okay, so this is now being created for me because the username I chose had not already been registered by someone else earlier. After you enter the username and click Continue, this page will open on your screen right away. Now you can see here that your registration appears at the top of the screen. But keep in mind, this works for you more like a chatbot. It's asking you a few questions here. What will that do? Then it will ask for all the details required from you here. You can use it in a simple ChatGPT style mode, where you type your answer directly here. Or, if you prefer, you also have a form style option in this area, which means the same manual entry method we normally use is available for you as well. First, look at the top right side here on the screen and click the second option. After selecting it, you will be able to see that this opens here in a form style view, okay? You can now fill this in manually right here. First, you need to fill in the basic details here. First, right at the top of this form, in this section, you need to state where you study or where you currently work. If you're a student, enter the name of your university or college in this field. But if you're currently working for a company, then use this same space to type the company's name instead, exactly as it should appear here on the form. And the second part here asks where you currently live. So here, you need to enter the city, the state, and the country as well. So in this spot, we'll write Lalpur first, add a comma after it, and then for the state name right here, we'll write Ranchi now. Then add a comma here and set the continent to India here, okay? So right here, you need to indicate which track you are applying for in this part of the application. You may remember that we explained here earlier that there are two tracks available to you. The first track is Researcher, and the second is Builder. So at this point, you need to indicate right here which of the two tracks you want to select. First, notice the Cloud Science application shown here. As I mentioned earlier, you need to install this app on your device before it will work. And only after that, if you are using it as a researcher, you will be able to open it and use its features here properly and successfully. But Cloud Science currently works only on Mac, Linux, and Windows Subsystem for Linux, commonly called WSL2. So for now, those are the only supported systems. If you are running regular Windows on this system, you will not be able to use this feature. So make sure you keep that in mind. So, in simple terms, if you do not have at least one of these three options available on this screen, you will not be able to select the researcher track here, no matter how much you try or want to choose it for yourself. So in that case, what you need to choose here is the recommended option, where you will track the builder from the screen. Now right here, all you need to do is click the select option on the screen, leave researcher as it is, and then choose builder from this menu, okay? Now you need to describe your background here, and then we'll look at what this actually means. So right here, you need to describe what you normally do in your day-to-day life on a daily basis. For example, if you write code, are building some software, or are creating any project, this is the place where you should clearly mention that specific work, all right? So write that clearly here, because as you can see, only when you mention it properly in this section will they be able to understand your actual dev experience. Here, you can see the red mark. This symbol is called an asterisk. The small star sign shown on screen. So every field you see here is required, and you need to fill them all in. So you can't leave it blank like this. Here, you need to explain what you plan to build for this hackathon, or, alternatively, what question or topic you want to investigate. Also, remember that whatever you want to do here needs to be explained clearly and in the proper way, all right? Don't simply state your topic here and move on. You need to do more than just mention it. That means you should not only state the topic you want to build on or investigate here. You also need to clearly and properly describe the actual problem you are trying to solve in this particular section. Next is your portfolio, where you should present the strongest examples of your work, the pieces you are most confident sharing and using to showcase your skills. As you can see here, it also says that you can share a link in this section. So if you have a repository, any research paper, a preprint, or even a demo product, you are allowed to add and share the link for each of those items directly right here on this page as well. So what you can do here is very simple. If you have already published any project on your GitHub account, then in that case, you can simply take that project's link and submit that same link here in this section as the required project URL, okay? Now, in the section below, you need to explain what kind of experience you have with the cloud code here. So, what has your experience been like with the Entropy Cloud so far? So even if you're completely new on this screen, we'll guide you to pick the newbie option here, all right? In simple terms, newbie simply means you are at the beginner level right now. So if you're using this for the first time, make sure you don't choose the none option here. You should not choose none here because it will make your overall impression appear quite low, okay? If you have no prior experience, you should choose the none option here in this section. So take a moment to understand, at least basically, what Cloud Code means and the other related details, and then you can select the newbie option here as well. Alright? If you have experience, select experience here. And anyone who is an expert should choose the expert option in this section. In this section, you need to add the link to your LinkedIn profile, making sure you place it right here correctly, okay? Next, after this step, you need to share your GitHub link in the space shown here, which is exactly what you should do now. Here, in this section, you can add your own personal website, a portfolio link, or if you work for any company, you can also place that company's website in this same spot, alright? But keep in mind that adding it here in this manner is not generally recommended. You can see here that there isn't any star showing for you at this point. So even if you skip this, it really won't cause any problem. But if you already have it, or you create any kind of content, for example on YouTube like we do, or you post something from any Twitter handle as well, then that is totally fine. So if that one is especially important for you, then in this case, you would paste its link right here, meaning the URL, which is the ID we are referring to. Similarly, if you want to add your Twitter ID here, you can mention it in this section. But if you choose not to include it, that is completely fine and it will not create any issue. Now this is the most important part, and you definitely should not miss it. Look, the credits we are going to receive here from Entropy, plus the 1-month Cloud Max subscription you will get here, will be available only when your account meets the required condition for this, as shown right here in this section. You'll type the organization's UID here, and next, we'll look at the exact way to enter it properly. So for this, you don't need to make any kind of purchase right now, okay? Not at the moment. Also, remember one important point. If the account you have, specifically the cloud account we are discussing, belongs to your company in any way, or to an institution such as a school or organization, then please do not use that account here for this step, alright? It is possible that if your company has any agreement with Entropy, then in that case, the API access you are supposed to receive here, the API credits you are supposed to get, or the 1-month subscription being offered to you, will not be made available to you here through this particular offer. So please keep that in mind. Let me clarify one point here. This will be available only to those selected from the 500 participants in this group, alright? Now let's see where we are going to get this API from. You can clearly see it here on the screen. Your URL is shown here. You need to copy it, okay? You can copy it, or you can right-click directly here instead and use the Go To option from this same spot. We'll open a new tab. You can open whichever browser you want from here. Paste it here. Then press Enter. First, sign in here with a cloud account you already have set up. If you don't already have an account, what you'll do here is simply click on Continue with Google, okay? Now we click right here. First, click here. And then you can use this available option to register your account on this same page, okay? So, using my email address, we are setting up a cloud account here for the very first time. So in this field, we need to enter our full name and also write the name shown here exactly as it appears. Alright, let's write it down here now. Next, click the I agree button right here, okay? This means you must be at least 18 years old, alright? This is exactly what their terms say. Then click the continue button here. Now you'll see two options, individual and organizations. So here, we need to click the individual option. Our buy option will appear here, but we are not going to select anything because we do not need to make any purchase at all. We'll click the skip for now option here. Notice, when I tap skip for now, it brings me back to that same page again. What should we do? First, we'll open a new tab again. Then paste the copied URL into this field on the page, meaning the link goes here. This was already done earlier, okay? Now we'll enter the platform 1 here and wait for a little while. Alright, clicking skip for now took us back and completed the step. First, look at the bottom corner where your profile icon appears. Then, click on that profile icon there. Next, you need to click on Organization Settings here. Click it, wait a moment, and then navigate over here to the Organization section. In your case, if you happen to click General, you need to choose Organization here. And when you look further down, you'll see your organization ID listed right there. First, copy this, then paste that same ID into the required field over there. Next, we'll simply paste the ID we copied earlier into this field right here. So the first thing you need to do here is enter your Discord handle, which simply means your Discord ID, the name or tag assigned to your account, into this box, okay? This is the event that is currently running on your Discord server, alright. If you don't already have a Discord ID, also called a handle, first create one, and then come back here and mention it in this section. Finally, as the last step, you need to mention here where you first heard about this hackathon. So go ahead and write anything here. We'll listen to anyone, okay? So whether you enter Twitter, YouTube, or Instagram, it's fine. It will recognize and listen to any option. First, we'll write it here. And then, you can see that there is a checkbox right here on the screen. First, click on this, and then click the Apply button here. But before you apply, you can see right here that you have a URL available here. When you click this, it will open the Terms and Conditions page, and you should review that page carefully for yourself before continuing. Alright, click this and check it right here for yourself. So, we had already walked you through the overview of your event. You'll be able to view all the terms and conditions here, along with every prize that is available in this section. Plus, you can check all your eligibility details and any requirements you need to meet right here. So if you want to verify it here, go ahead and check this section once again. Alright, once you have checked it out again, you need to go back from here, then return to the file option you were using earlier, click on it once more, and after that, move down to the lower section of this page. In my case, I've cleared everything from this section. So, since there's no text left, it has been completely removed. In your case, keep it here. If it disappears from this spot, enter it again, because it should not be removed. So this is referring to the details we filled in here earlier. Alright, next you need to click Enable here, and then click Apply in this section to save the change. We'll apply it, and then you will receive an email here. Alright, that is the channel through which you'll be notified here. Alright, your application has now been submitted here, and if you are chosen as a winner, you will be notified by email, and there is also a chance they may contact you through Discord directly as well. Alright, you can apply it here exactly like this. And if you run into any issue during the application process, feel free to ask me in the comments below.